Talk. Light Talk. Lumen Brothers. Light Talk.
Hey, this is Steve in Dallas, Texas. It's Wednesday morning, my friend, and you are listening to Light Talk.
And this is Ellen, nose to the grindstone on the tropical island of St. Bart's, and you are listening to Light Talk.
And this is Dennis, broadcasting from the beautiful North Shore of Long Island, New York on the Manhasset Bay. You are still listening to Light Talk.
And this is David coming to you from the beautiful Belmont Shore neighborhood of Long Beach, California. And I just returned from whale watching in Alaska, where I saw a whole herd of whales. I don't think it's called herd, what are they called, pods, something like that. I saw whales give birth. I saw things that no one else has ever seen out on a ship. And if you don't already know, you are listening to Light Talk, and we are the Lumen Brothers
And Sister.
And that's right, Ellen. Welcome, everyone, to episode 488.
Hey, David, about your little vacation,
Yeah?
You said you saw things that had never been seen before.
That's
what
right.
about the people on the ship? What have they seen that they never saw before?
I think we'll save that story for a later episode. Since we have a guest here, we do not want to embarrass Mark. And speaking of Mark, we welcome our old friend Mark Ravenhill to the podcast. So, hi, Mark. How you doing? Where are you calling from, by the way?
Hey, David. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, as you may be able to tell from the accent.
You're a Nashville cat.
That's right.
Cats. Yeah, that was awesome. Well, great. Well, Ellen, for our younger listeners who don't know about Mark, why don't you tell our listeners about Mark?
I would be happy to. Mark is the director of German Light Products, which most people just call GLP, a leading global manufacturer of entertainment lighting equipment, and also runs the sales and marketing division of the company's U.S. subsidiary, which is based in Los Angeles, although, as Mark just said, he himself is based in Nashville. Since starting his career in entertainment lighting in high school, Mark has had the roles of lighting technician, follow spot operator, programmer, lighting designer, stage manager, technical trainer, product manager, technical director, and vice president of the Danish manufacturer Martin Professional. During his career, he has been part of the team bringing groundbreaking products to the market, including the Martin Mac 2000 range and the GLP JDC1, amongst others. Mark also serves on the board of directors for EVEN, the Events Vocational Educational Network, a nonprofit organization transforming the backstage industry by building a sustainable career pipeline to strengthen the live events industry and provide resources to aspiring young professionals from all walks of life. Mark has no idea how any other industry works, and that doesn't bother him at all.
That's right.
Mark, it is great to see you with your ever ubiquitous red glasses, and we are thrilled to have you on Light Talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
The
It's great to
glasses,
be here.
Mark, are great, are fantastic.
They're fabulous.
I want to tell you something. Before we get started, we're going to talk about some very cool stuff that you guys are doing at GOP. You were with Martin back when it was in Fort Lauderdale? Was that back then?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you probably remember that I was the lighting designer for that crazy Fort Lauderdale Baptist Church's Christmas pageant. And we used all Martin gear. I spec'd out all Martin gear, right? With some incredible people from Martin. And you saved me. And I want to thank you and thank Martin for saving me. You know, Gary Moss was there. George Valdez was my programmer. Incredible team. And everyone at Martin was great. So I'm going to just make this a public thank you to you guys because you rock.
It's great. You know, as manufacturers, we're always trying to help support where we can and where we need to, and everybody's good at it, and it's great when it's appreciated. So I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad.
Awesome.
All right. So we want to talk about EVEN and the work they're doing. And I know that other people we know, like Suna Routier, has been involved. And at LDI, we know about EVEN because we've been involved in the Autism and Entertainment group. And the woman, Judy Utah, who's the director of that, has included the Even staff in that. So you want to tell us a little bit more about what Even is doing and some of the projects they have going?
Absolutely. And yeah, this is great. And you're right. You mentioned Suna. She's one of the founders of Even, along with a few others, Seth Robinson and Veda Briseno and Malik Grant and Stuart Burke and Harrison Lippman, who people may know from Vault Lights in Los Angeles. And it really kind of started during COVID times, working out how people could start to give back to the industry. At the same time, seeing a mass exodus of people from our industry as they, just wanted to put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads, and they went off to work in other industries, and a lot of them have never come back. So it was a number of different things. It was combined with the fact that, if you talk to a lot of school counselors, they have no idea that our industry even exists, and that there are now really viable careers in the backstage industry, be it as a rigger, be it as a lighting tech or an audio tech, be it as a pyrotechnician. There are all of these different career paths that are open now. So Even really started to help, let's say, hold the curtain open for people to come into the industry. And since that time, it's grown and grown, and we've exactly become involved with other initiatives as well. And yes, we are talking to Judy at Autism and Entertainment as well, and seeing how we can collaborate, because there are so many good non-profits in the industry really trying to help people and to expose the industry to a wider audience.
How can people in the industry get involved?
Well, a number of ways. We're always looking for people to get involved. So the Even is built around apprenticeships. We have a registered apprenticeship program, and that's registered with both the Department of Labor and the Department of Education. And we take in apprentices through an application process for the different. We offer 6 different pathways for different disciplines within the industry, and they go through an application process, and then we place them with employer partners. So one of the first areas that we need always assistance with is with employer partners who are looking to build their pipeline of new talent coming into their company. The apprentices will come in as pre-interviewed, so that we know that they have a foundation base for the industry, and they then get placed with employer partners in a program that lasts between 12 and 18 months. It's all about vocational on-the-job training in the traditional sense of the apprenticeship. They get paid, and they learn the job as they go, and then they get given supplemental education on the side, so that they come out as a fully rounded person understanding our industry. So the employer partners are a big part of it. But to help ensure that the apprentices get fully rounded, we hook them up with a mentor as well. So we're always looking for mentors in the industry as well, who will give up some of their time and some of their knowledge and guidance to these younger people as well, and just help guide them and help steer them and help educate them in the industry. So yeah, that's 2 ways. And then, of course, the other big third way is that Even is a non-profit. So anybody who just likes the idea of what we're doing and would like to donate, any donations are always gratefully received, big or small.
And who's the new executive director?
So that's Nancy Eckert, who happens to also be based in Nashville. And she joined us about 6 months ago, and she's doing a fantastic job. So she's our sole employee, and is ensuring that we are conforming with all that we need to do. We're tracking the apprentices and making sure that they stay on schedule. We're supporting our employer partners by enabling them to get any grants that are available to support the wage process, and just making sure that we're building a curriculum that is valid and relevant at all times.
And this is a nationwide program?
Currently, we're only in California right now. We have to build it state by state, but we are right on the verge of opening up into our next state, which is going to be Tennessee. where we have been working already with the Chamber of Commerce and the local departments of Labour and Education, and they're all ready to take us on board. We're green lighted. We just need a couple more bits of paperwork. So within the next month, we anticipate that we'll be making an official announcement that we're live in Tennessee as well. And then we have to follow on. But unfortunately, we can't just go federal or everywhere. We have to go state by state and get approval.
Okay.
Is there a website or something that the students can apply to? How do they reach out?
Absolutely, yeah. So the evennetwork.org is the website. And you can also follow us on Instagram or on LinkedIn. We have social media sites there. And if the evennetwork.org, and up there is all of the information and the ability to apply as well. And right now we have an application open for some lighting technician placements that's going to be happening. So anybody who's interested in this and is based in California can apply right away. And we encourage them to do so.
Would it be useful to you if we gave you some complimentary LDI conference passes for anybody that's in California and might want to come over?
That would be amazing if we could offer that to some of our existing apprentices, because this is a new round that we're about to take in. So any existing ones, we have some fantastic students who would just love to be there. Yeah.
Okay, let's definitely do that.
Okay, thank you.
Is there some sort of prerequisite for students to have? What sort of background is required? Or I'm sure you screen people as well, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we screen them in the first instance and do an interview with them. The founders, some of the founders, they take it in turns and do an interview with the applicants. There is no formal requirement. Of course, people coming through from maybe a high school where they have a significant program and typically a theatre-based program, they obviously can come in, hitting the ground running and having a solid foundation. But it's more about, we want to find the right people, and so there is no requirements for having had a formal education or having done a formal number of hours at a non-profit theatre or anything like that. It's the attitude and the personalities. They're the ones that we want to promote, and so we're keen to promote from every background, however they hear about us.
And what's the age group that you're hitting?
It's for 18 to 24-year-olds.
And where are some of them placed now?
So some of our employer partners in Los Angeles, we work with Volt Lights, we work with Fuse Technical Group, we work with 3G Productions, we work with Arcade Diversified. So there's some of the places that we have at the moment. And some of our apprentices that have already been going through the program have now been given full-time employment and are out working in those companies and touring and getting up to all kinds of escapades and adventures, which is fantastic. That's the end goal.
That's great.
Have you approached any of the trade unions, especially in Los Angeles, that Yahtzee or whoever that might be able to take some of the students in for training?
We have had some discussions with IATSE. Yes, we have. Yeah. And we don't have a formal arrangement with them at the moment, but we have had some discussions. And we're open to working with everybody in every capacity. We're not, exclusive. And we're even saying, our training programs, if they exist, if other organizations can make use of them, then we'll happily, work with them to find the right solution. We're just all about promoting as many people into the industry as we possibly can.
It's a fabulous thing.
It seems like you're restarting something that collapsed in the 60s and 70s, this idea of a mentorship, of an internship, an apprenticeship. It's a craft, and we've lost sight of that, I think.
Absolutely, I really do. And it's funny when you talk to people and mention the word apprenticeship, that a lot of people really latch on to that and go, yes, this is, I think so many aspects of our industry are not going to be taken over by AI. We need, real people there doing real jobs with real experience. You can't get AI to rig for you. We're going to need those people. So bringing them in, mentoring them, teaching them, and is just the best way to do it.
Well, it seems this has been working effectively in the trades, electrician, plumber, carpenter, people who are highly skilled at what they do.
That's right. That's right.
And also today, when going to a 4-year college program is so expensive and a graduate degree, this is a great workforce program for people that don't have that opportunity.
That's right. That's right, and that's a big part. Is as I mentioned before, it's taking people in from every walk of life, every background. There's no exclusivity to this in any way, shape, or form, and that was a big thing. Just holding the curtain open. We talk often about how many people got into the industry because of somebody they knew, and if you didn't know anybody, then you never even knew about the industry. So we're trying to break that wall down as well, and just make sure as many people know about it as possible.
It's interesting. On last week's show, we had a conversation with Tom Kenny, and Tom was telling us that he got started when he was 12 or 13 and didn't really have a musical ability, but his family did. So he'd go to concerts and stuff, and at one of the shows, he was asked to help push around some boxes. And as a 12-year-old, he's pushing around these boxes for a little-known group called U2, which eventually led to a career where he became their lighting designer after a couple of years.
It's just incredible. Just incredible.
So starting at the bottom, I mean, and you know as well as I do, there's dozens and dozens of people. That's their story.
Right.
That's right. That's right. Come in, show keenness, show a willingness to learn, show a responsibility to show up on time and ask the right questions, and you can go a long, long way in this industry. You really can.
But it takes a little bit of initiative. And it's surprising to see how few people have that initiative. Maybe they're just shy in a lot of cases. But it's great when we have companies like yours who are now adding more opportunities. But the question is, you can open the door, but they got to walk through it.
They have got to walk through it. That's right.
And I don't know how you teach that. I really don't.
No,
Well, how many people do you get applying for these apprenticeships?
Well, I think at the moment we're well oversubscribed. I must say, because I'm still new, I haven't done so many of these cohort applications yet. But we get oversubscribed, which is great. So again, hence the reason to find more employer partners. That would really benefit us.
Well, that's good news. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great news.
Yeah, and Tennessee will be great because you've got Bandit Lights and GLP and other people you can.
Yeah. Nashville has really become a big hub for the industry now.
Right.
The opening of Rock Nashville, the big rehearsal facility last year, that's really helped as well. So it's broader.
I think there's a Four Wall there too, right?
That's right. Four Wall have a big office. Solar Tech have a big office, and PRG and so many of the companies, Christie Lights, LMG, the list goes on and on.
So it's much larger than Miami, right? The lighting industry in Tennessee, is that correct?
I would absolutely say so.
Oh,
yes, yeah.
Because musically it is too,
Right.
So, Mark, you sound a little like Tom Kenny, someone from across the pond who's based in the States now. How did you get started, and what brought you to America?
Well, two different things. But how did I get to America? Let's do that one. I when I was at Martin, I'd been to America a few times, of course, to visit LDI and things like that. But I actually went and sat in the office in Fort Lauderdale for a few years and got to know the market well, and got to know some of the people. During that time, my son was born here, so that formed an immediate connection to the country. And since then, I was back in Europe for a while, and then when joining GLP didn't have a presence in America. And America is a very important market for the entertainment industry, of course. And so the question was that we would start a subsidiary over here. So I came over with my family then and my American son, and we came over on visas initially, and now we're all of us are citizens, and enjoying life here. And we were in LA for a long time, and now in a few years in Nashville, and enjoying this part of the country as well.
Did you start that GLP office with Annalise, or how did that all happen?
That's right. Yeah, Annalise was our first employee after me, and she was I'd worked with Annalise for many years at Martin, and she was looking for something to do, and I just knew that she would be the perfect one to help me build the company. So she came on board, and it's still going great.
Yeah, good choice. She's Swedish to begin with.
Danish.
Oh, Danish. Sorry,
Yeah.
Martin is Danish. Sorry, Danish.
That's
I
right.
must say
Yeah.
that GLP has some of the most cutting edge lighting technology out there. And, ever since I was turned on to that company years ago here in LA, I've been like gushing over their equipment. I've spec'd out a lot of the equipment from GLP because no one else had it. Like small lights, that you can hide, that were incredibly dependable and powerful, just amazing fixtures. And of course, all the new stuff you guys have out now is just mind-boggling. Plus, I must say that for the past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, you had the best booths at LDI, the best demos. Matter of fact, you once drove Stan K out of the booth because your strobes were strobing so much, he almost went into an epileptic seizure.
Okay.
So I think it was more brain damage with Stan. But anyway,
Right.
I must tell you, it was hilarious. But that being said, really, I just love looking at the equipment you guys create. Is just amazing. Amazing tools for a lighting designer. So
Wow,
for our
thank
young
you.
listeners, check it out. Really, it's a wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you also have tours. I mean, your outreach is excellent. You have a tour going out soon, don't you?
That's right. Yeah, we have a tour going out at the moment where we are going around to different cities, and it's a thing that we call the Licht Lab. Licht being German for light, where we take younger people in for a couple of days, and they get to learn a whole bunch about not just GLP and the technologies we use, but some of the wider industry things as well, like GDTF files and MVR and some of the new technologies coming in. And we spend a couple of days with them. It's a small donation is all we ask for, to either even or behind the scenes, two of our great non-profits in the industry, and then we feed them, we teach them, we get a guest speaker in. There's a lot that happens there: networking, relationship building, and everything. So yeah, that's great. And we're coming to New York soon, and then Nashville next.
I just think I see a whole movement happening over the past 10 years. And Steve, you may want to, comment on this. I all started with Verilight a long time ago, when they were just doing rock shows, and then they're realizing, hey, we need to turn out the younger generation, the students who are learning lighting, into this equipment, turn on to, and as a matter of fact, I believe that you were talking about that last week, about how important it was for the music lighting industry to come in and start teaching theatrical and live entertainment lighting designers. And, this type of program that you guys are doing is really, really just another great opportunity for young students of lighting. I think it's just, before it was like, no, theater. Now they, don't make enough money on theater. Let's focus in on just music, on live and big shows. But now you guys are like expanding. It's so great, for the educational process of these students. So
Yeah, absolutely, and
kudos.
it's important. Thank you. It's important to us as well that we do this, and we often talk about how much all of the different factors of the industry all work together, and we all rely on each other, and we all depend on each other. Manufacturers depend on vendors, and designers depend on vendors and manufacturers to make the new gear for them, and so on. It's a whole cyclical arrangement, and so ensuring that we don't just get stuck within ourselves, and ensuring that we're constantly bringing new people into that is important. It really is.
So those of us who have been in the industry for a while, which is everybody here, we've certainly seen a lot of technological changes over the years. What do you think the biggest disruptive changes have been in your time, and what's coming down the road in R&D?
That's a good question. I guess, of course, the most recent one is the move to the LED as a light
Right.
source away from tungsten, and to the large part now away from discharge as well. I mean, that was a huge disruptor, not just in terms of developing new products and things, but just the amount of disruption to existing venues where they had to upgrade their systems because these tungsten lamps were just no longer available for their fixtures. So I think in the wider industry, that's probably the major one. recently. I think the next one that's going to cause a certain amount of upheaval is it's being driven out of the EU, and it's all to do with cybersecurity. And any product that can connect to a network or potentially connect to a network now has this whole cybersecurity system that it's going to have to adhere to. And there's new regulations coming out of the EU initially. So that's essentially every product that's got a network port on it is going to have to adhere to these.
There's not something to do with the fact that the LED, the light, is sort of secondary to the fact that it's an information chip, and that you're really passing information along the way, and that it lights up is nice.
Is a secondary
Secondary.
thing. Yeah, that's right.
Lighting up is secondary.
No, it's true. It's
I
true.
love
It's
it.
really an informational chain.
It
So
is.
that's why you have to really protect it.
Yeah, that's right. But I mean, that's a little bit, that's a bit more of a technical, a bit of a boring thing. In terms of sort of what technology is that we can use, I think, we're seeing improvements all the time still with LEDs. I think we're going to start to see new implementation of AI into fixtures as well, and new technologies coming in. So I think we're on the edge of a whole new gamut of potential technology that's going to be coming into fixtures that we haven't had before.
Hey, David, you keep talking about the console you can talk to. Who needs the console when
Yeah,
you can
the
talk
lights.
to the lights?
There are too many of them to talk to. I only have one console. I don't want to talk to 600 moving lights. Oh my God.
You've got a cell
be great.
phone.
Right.
That's all you're going to need in the future.
You got to
Right.
name them. How are you going to name them? The 600. I don't know.
You might not have to anymore.
All the minions are named.
That's
You
true.
can name your lights.
Name your lights. There you go.
That's right.
I'm still having a hard enough time with Alexa, right? Please, I don't want any more. I don't want to talk to anybody more. I'm done with talking to people. And,
You also have to
and
talk to
machines.
Siri.
I talk to Siri every now and then too. Yes, that's unfortunate too. Oh God,
You know,
she heard
I
me that.
I drive an old car, and I don't have a car that you can like connect your phone to or anything, or a screen. So I get in my daughter's car the other day, a brand new Honda, and she says, "Plug in your phone." I plug in my phone, and it says, "Who do you want to talk to?" I don't know, Mark Ravenhill. So you say, "Siri, connect me to Mark Ravenhill," and his phone rings. And then it's like, "Do you want me to record this?" "Yes." "Do you want me to send it to your email?" "Yes." And I'm like, "Oh my God!" And then it says, Dennis Size is calling on the other line. What should I tell him? Tell him I'm on the phone with Mark. I'll be there in a minute.
Tell them to piss off.
Hello. It's like, how do you drive when all this is going on in front of you? It's like,
Most software is programmed to tell me to piss off already.
That's
Yeah,
true. I can relate to that.
but I'm assuming that the lights are going to respond the same exact way,
Right.
Speaking of pissing off, I think Mark has solved the problem. We were talking about how do we break into the industry, who do we talk to. He's not alone in this, but these companies that do these tours, all of a sudden, I bet he's getting phone calls from people he has no idea who they are. But he's crossed their life and shown them the light and shown them how to work a console. And now that 16, 17, 18-year-old has a connection in the industry. They can call these people up. I'm always amazed by that because what I have found is so many people are willing to share knowledge with you, but most younger designers are afraid. They just don't know who to talk to, or they assume they would never want to hear from them. By that extra effort of taking their product into New York or LA or Dallas or Detroit or Atlanta or wherever, there's going to be a whole generation of people who realize they do have a voice and someone's going to listen to them. So I think this tour is just an amazingly good thing for people.
Yes. Yeah, it's great. And on that subject, just jumping back to Even as well, when we have people contact us and say, "I'd love to be a mentor," it's incredible the number of that are coming through. And again, they want to do exactly that, Steve. They want to share their knowledge. They want to tell people what they know. They want to hand the baton on to the next generation. And they're always keen to do that. And you're absolutely right that the younger generation always feel a bit, well, I can't talk to them. I can't approach them. They're, godlike lighting designers. Whereas if only they knew, if they just made that first contact, then they could ask any question they wanted.
Well, I think as you reach out more and more and it becomes more, people are more aware of it, it's going to grow and grow. Even as you tell me about Nashville, in the last, I don't know when you're launching the program there, but in the last 4 or 5 months, I've done 3 different studios for different clients in Nashville. I'll be more than happy to hook you guys up with them so that some of your apprentices can experience those new studios, especially since it's not just lighting. You're doing lighting, audio, video, a number of disciplines. And that's just great. I mean, it speaks volumes about GLP and the outreach that you guys have done for years, not just in your products, but now in the actual training of our future generations. So kudos to you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. We're proud of it, and we want to continue building it and continue inspiring for the future. Yeah.
What do you do in terms of USITT or LDI for outreach?
What do we do for outreach there?
Yeah, or what would you like to do?
Well, in terms of even LDI has already been very generous to us, and USITT, in fact, by allowing even to have a space there and as a non-profit without having
Right.
to pay for it, so they can
Yeah,
reach
in our
a,
career fair area.
that's correct. Yeah, in a wider audience, and of course, and we're always willing to do what we can to give back as well. Either by sitting and listening, or not listening, but coaching students who are there at LDI, or helping give a seminar. I know Suna did some of those last year as part of the the trade, if you like. But yeah,
Right,
we're always willing to do anything like that. For GLP, well, our LDI booth this year is going to be something new that we haven't done before, and outreach is going to be a big part of it. So we just encourage everybody to come along and yeah, come see us, come talk, come ask us any question you want. We'll answer it.
So you'll have a table in the career fair again at LDI?
Yeah, yes, we will. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Jessie has said yes. She said
Great.
she hasn't got that far in the planning yet, but when she does,
Great. Okay,
we'll
great.
be in, which is great.
What's new in the forefront at GLP, by the way, equipment-wise? I mean, the range of lights that GLP produces is astonishing. From I guess your smallest is the X5 Dot, and then you have that Mad Max that's about the size of a Volkswagen.
That's right.
What is that light's? What, 500 pounds?
It's oh, come on, it's only 455, Dennis.
But again, that's great. The range of equipment, and I discovered GLP maybe a dozen years ago, and in the last 8 or 9 years, I don't think there's a single studio I've designed that doesn't have Impression FR1s in it. As you well know,
That's right.
because I call you up and say, "Hey, I need 40 more lights. Where are you going to get them from?"
Right. That's right. That's right. And but
Right.
that we're very grateful. But you're right. We've done our biggest light. We've done our smallest light now. It's where do we go next? So we've got some new things coming down. We will have some new products to show at LDI as we always do. So we're definitely going to be expanding that X5 Dot range. As you mentioned earlier as well, David, small fixtures are things that people really do like. It doesn't always have to be the biggest, brightest. Having small fixtures that you can tuck into scenery or tuck into a themed environment is a good thing. So we're going to be expanding that range with different options as well.
Why did you, or how did you decide to go in that range? If I remember correctly, it was Ben Stanton, when we had him on the show, was talking about his Broadway show where the GLP small fixtures were spectacular. Again, I'm not trying to be dumb about asking the question, but I'm always haranguing other manufacturers who I will not mention, and I'll say, why don't you put out lights like GLP does?
Well,
I
that's
mean,
great.
seriously, did somebody one day say, or did you or somebody in the company say, hey, let's make a little tiny light that's an LED, but it's got a lot of kick to it?
Right. Well, the story behind the X5 Dot is a combination of all of the above, really. We'd been wanting to replace the MR16 Birdie for a long time. And again, because of the whole move away from tungsten. And we knew we had some of the technology there, but we were never quite able to get everything in that we wanted. And then towards about a year ago, we were in contact with a lens manufacturer, and we got a new optical system, which basically allows us to zoom without changing the size of the fixture. And that was the final part, because we had the color, we had the cooling, we had the IP rating, we had the output, we had all of those things. We just needed the zoom. So now we've got all of that packed into a housing, which is the same size as a birdie. So it can take birdie accessories if you want it to.
So awesome. I can't tell you how long I've been looking for a light like that. And like I said before, about 8 years ago, I went to the showroom here in LA, and I found, there it is. It's right there. And I said, this is it. This is what we're going to use. I'm going to put them down on the bottom of the stage. I'm going to put them over here. I put them behind this wall. I must have ordered at least 24 of these just to put different parts of the set, and even use those little shin kickers in these little areas, just to have a color control, tiny little shin kicker was perfect for the use of the show. I don't understand why other companies don't do it, but it sounds like you have pretty much a corner on that market, which is a good market, by the way. And they're not that expensive. They really aren't.
No,
I mean, they're quite reasonable.
They are.
I do have a question to ask you, Mark, and it's that maybe it's out of your wheelhouse. I don't know. How has these horrible tariffs that we have put on our European friends affected competing in the United States with the equipment?
It's wow. How long have we got left on the podcast discuss this?
We go on.
They've been
it's crazy.
Yeah, they've been disruptive, completely disruptive. At every time things have changed, and it just makes it difficult. But it makes it difficult for everybody, because for the entertainment lighting world, at least, there isn't that much that's manufactured in the US anymore. Most of it is manufactured abroad. So kind of everybody's in the same boat. But ultimately, it does have to trickle down, because there is no one entity that is able to absorb the whole cost. And that's where the danger can come in, is when it's trickling down to the ticket purchaser, and how sustainable is that amongst an economy with other concerns as well. So it's tricky. It seems to be now, after the announcement back in the middle of July, that things are going to settle. And for that, I'm very grateful. I mean, give me stability any day. Give me craziness, that's fine. But if you can give me stable crazy, I can work with it. It's the unstable crazy that I have trouble with. So
we have unstable crazy. I hate to tell you that, but that's where we're at right now.
So now it's stable. Then we can all plan with it, and we can all work around it, and we can all budget for it. And that just makes it easier. Not nice, but easier.
What do manufacturers do with like unsold equipment? Like, do you use Gear Source or some other like sales? Like at the end of a season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons, if something new and exciting has come out, but there's unsold inventory, where does it go?
We take it all home for Christmas and Halloween.
I think put it on a barge. You send it out. Bury it. I don't know.
That's right. If we planned well, then we don't have too much left over. And we've planned our manufacturing, and of course we scale down. We can feel when a product is not as popular as it used to be, or that we're replacing a product with a newer generation of our own. But we always keep some products hanging around to keep supporting the existing stuff in the market. And at some point, yes, there is always going to be some leftover units. And typically, what we do there is we're in contact with the colleges around the country, or the high schools, or the people who they're trying to educate their students to come out into the world knowing the latest equipment, and being able to walk up to a production desk with knowledge and know-how, and be able to contribute to the conversation. But they're challenged by just not having the budgets and not having the ability to go out and buy the latest moving light and the latest digital audio desk and the latest MA3 and the latest EOS, and they just can't do it. So generally what we do is we will donate fixtures to colleges and educational establishments.
That's great.
I'm sure that Steve will agree with me when I say that one of the great things that Verilight said way back when I was teaching at SMU was a big part of why they did it. Was they knew that when these students graduated, they would know how to program a Verilight console. They would know what a VL5 would do or a VL2C would do. And that's very important when you're speccing equipment. They're going to be designing,
Right.
they're going to be speccing the equipment. It's smart.
Mhm.
Very
Yeah.
smart.
So, Steve, if you need anything, get your list in now.
That's right. That's right. And we do, it happens, at different times throughout the year. It's not themed around, the end of the
Right.
financial year or anything like that. It really is themed around when the product has reached its end of life. And we suddenly look
Sure.
at these and go, okay, these have just been sitting here for 6 months now. We really need to get these to, not gathering dust, but being used.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Has there ever been a fixture that GLP's designed that it was like, oh, well, we shouldn't have done that? I mean, something disappointed that just, it ended up getting sent out to the high schools right away?
You mean the Edsel of lighting design?
Edsel of
that's a
lighting
good way of
equipment.
putting it.
Yes.
The new German moving light powered by steam.
Right.
That was just a bad idea.
We've had a few hits along the way. We've also had a few misses, definitely. I think probably the one that springs to mind was a fixture called the Highlander.
Well, that's a SUV, isn't it?
There
Made by,
we
like-
go.
Yes,
That's right.
Subaru,
Or a movie.
like a Forest
That's right.
Earth. I don't know.
All of those things spring to mind, but not the light. So that just shows you.
Why on earth would a German company name it after a Scottish thing? I mean,
That I don't know about. That's a question for one of our product managers. But it was absolutely, that was the inspiration for the name, was that Scottish movie. It came around during COVID, and it was one of these fixtures that had pretty much been finished. And typically a fixture, let's say, and as an average, it takes around 18 months from a blank piece of paper to a finished product hitting the market. And this had all been developed and it was ready to go right leading up to COVID. And then COVID happened. And then by the time we came out of COVID, technology had moved on. This was a discharged lamp fixture. So they were all pretty much forgotten. By that point, LEDs had taken over and it entered the market as a non-starter. So yeah, that was the most recent one, the Highlander.
Well, the Highlander was a victim of timing, basically.
Yes,
That's the problem.
That was the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Had it come out a year earlier, it may have been very popular.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You never know,
Yeah.
right?
But a dud all the same, unfortunately.
Right.
considering the very high-end GLP fixtures that have been created over the years, and I know you do some specialized lighting control software, but you never really got into the lighting desk, theatrical lighting desk market. How come?
A long time ago, GLP had a small desk, but it was never sold in the States. And as soon there was definitely a watershed point where pixel control of LED fixtures started to become a real thing, and people were able to offer it within their fixtures, and designers wanted it because they wanted that level of control. And at that point, all of the desks had to start changing. And the MA went from, the 1 to the 2 or the 2 to the 3, and ETC changed their platform, and Avalites and all of the other manufacturers as well to accommodate all of this. And that was definitely a point where at GLP we decided, let's stick to what we're good at, and we don't need to compete in that market. Especially when we can see physically they're not too close, but of course they're a neighbor. MA Lighting in the same country have such a dominance in a large area of the market, essentially outside of theatre. They really are a dominant player, and to see that and to think, do we want to go up against that? It's like, no, they can do what they're good at, and we'll do what we're good at.
Sure. Is that the main reason? And this is a total turnaround, that GLP and you personally decided not to continue that wonderful podcast that you had, the 10 out of 10, because you didn't want to go up against Light Talk?
That is absolutely right. We were scared into the corner. You're absolutely right. And
God.
It's taken me this long to build up enough courage to come and meet you face to face.
No, I think
and
all of us
apologize.
that are around going, do we sound like those guys?
Oh no! Oh my
That was
God.
just your COVID project, though,
That
right?
was. It was a fantastic COVID project. It was a great way
It was
of
a
just
wonderful
people,
project.
Yeah, people keeping
Yeah.
in contact. We
Smart.
finished up at 50, and that was as we were coming out of COVID, and we thought, that's a nice number to end it at. And I think it was Jennifer Tipton, if I remember rightly, was the last guest, and that was a great guest to have as well. So we thought, there's a line to draw it under and put that in the archive.
Sure. Well, now that we've had you, we can now end this podcast permanently after this episode. Mark, we've been waiting all these years to have you, man.
Wow.
You are.
I'm blushing.
I just want to tell you, though, if you guys ever do want to get into the console business, I have an idea that will put you right to the top.
Okay.
Here it
not-
comes.
Yeah.
It's called Juliet.
Okay.
Juliet is your AI person in the console who basically does what you want it to do. So you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about colors. You don't have to worry about that. If you call it an R67, it comes out an R67. All that happens by magic.
Just by
Immediately.
The problem with Juliet, though, Juliet sees a problem and immediately plunges a dagger into her heart.
Well, she probably knows better than we do. Listen, I'm so beaten down by Snoot. I will take anyone's advice right now. She's trying to deal with the lawsuits that are coming from the boat last week, okay? We have tons of lawsuits coming in. Okay, but I don't want to talk about that.
So, Mark, what do you think in the next 20 years? What is the holy grail for the concert touring industry?
Wow, what a huge question. 20 years is a long way ahead. I mean, if
I'm
we
not
think
going to be
about
alive.
Oh, sure.
Me either.
In this business, 20 weeks is a
Well,
long
this way
way.
you're not committed to some kind of wonderful product that you're releasing in 18 months from now. But
That's true.
What is there something out there that they're longing for and it's just too expensive or too exotic or I don't know.
I mean, there's always the next thing, and the next thing generally we get asked for, smaller, brighter, cheaper, faster, quieter, all of the above, and I think that is going to continue for sure. I think consistency, quality, reliability are key things that just need to continue no matter what happens. If it's a digital light or if it's an analog light of sorts, it's just consistency is a big thing, and getting that right. I think it's going to be interesting. We see it in music and in fashion that every 25 years or so things come back around. The revolution happens again, and so I think that's going to be interesting to see what happens in our industry in that regard as well. But for sure, there's going to be a huge amount of technology taking over. The workload is going to be reduced. People are already talking about, how safe is the programmer's job if the designer can just talk directly to the console and say, hey,
Who's
make
talking about that? I've never heard anyone talking about that.
but just make this a nice ballad in blue. No, make it faster. No, add some red. Just and doing these, it's going to be interesting how the whole AI discussion is moving extremely quickly at the moment as well, and how it's going to affect things. So I haven't got a single answer that I could give you, unfortunately. It's a bit of everything.
No one does. No one has.
Yeah,
an
we don't
answer.
know. We don't know what's going on. I have a genie bottle right here. All right, and I'm going to rub it. I'm rubbing it. Look. Oh my God. The genie, it's popped out.
It's
You
out.
know what she said? She says that this is Jennifer, whatever her name is, and it went up, right? And she said, "Find a better job." That's what she said. No.
But I think AI is going to be like anything else. Kids that grew up with computers were miles ahead of us. So the next generation is going to grow up with AI. And when they say, it's like we're already behind. It's like people of our generation we're like trying to learn it, and they just intrinsically know it.
But that's interesting. So maybe this isn't part of the podcast, but I found out yesterday. Well, I already know that they've stopped teaching cursive in schools these days, which I thought was just amazing.
That's been going on for a while.
Right, and I found that amazing. I hadn't realized
scary.
that. It was
That
just,
is really scary.
yeah.
But you're also in Tennessee.
Oh, wait a second. Don't knock Tennessee. Aren't you from Tennessee? Steve, you're from Tennessee, aren't you?
I have a summer home not, I don't know, 75 or 80 miles away from Mark. What is
Okay.
your favorite restaurant in Nashville?
My favorite restaurant in Nashville. I'm never here enough to go to a decent restaurant, but
No.
Hattie B's is great for the to choose the easy one for the chicken. Yeah,
I just want to know where you're taking me when I come and visit you.
we'll find somewhere great. We'll absolutely find somewhere great. There's lots of good
I like
places around.
Nashville.
Nashville, it
There
is
is.
nice.
There's a lot of great stuff
there,
there.
there is actually there's an Indian place down in the Gulch, and I can't remember her name, but she was like a celebrity TV chef, and she opened her own restaurant down there, and it's Indian, Asian, Tennessee fusion. It's great. It's really nice.
That's
LB,
awesome.
I was in Nashville in 1989. Maybe we'll get back there someday.
Maybe.
Well, you're on the way.
Now we're on the road again.
You're heading in
New
the right
Orleans,
direction.
not too far. Yep.
That's right.
Well, the rocking sounds of the Luminoids tell us that once again you've spent another morning listening to Light Talk. You can hear our show on just about every podcast site out there. Check out our website at lighttalk.org, and don't forget our new Instagram site at Light Talk Podcast. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our podcast. That way you will not miss a second of Light Talk Insanity.
No guarantee is offered regarding the accuracy of any statements or opinions made on this podcast. However,
If you do decide to litigate, you will have to deal with me, Snoot from the Snoot Group. And don't get it twisted. Just because I married one of these losers does not mean I will go easy on you. So don't with me.
Light Talk coming to you from the beautiful Belmont Shores neighborhood of Long Beach, California, the tropical paradise of St. Bart's, Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, which I love that city. Great music, great barbecue. The Lone Star State and the entertainment capital of the world. Well, not really. New York City, I guess.
Well, on that note, be sure to join us next week when we dive into more lighting shenanigans and serve up a fresh, piping hot casserole of nonsense.
Light Talk, broadcasting questionable Lumen knowledge and humor around the world.
Well, thanks again, Mark, for being our guest today, and we'll see everyone next week. Bye-bye from Light Talk.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.